Okay, thank you to everyone for joining us today for the CreditorWatch webinar, the latest one in our series. We've done quite a number over the last 12 to 18 months, and they seem to be getting more and more popular. So thank you for joining, whether it's your first time or you've joined us before. So today we're going to talk about our debt collection tools that CreditorWatch has launched. So the title today being Avoid Bad Debt by Using CreditorWatch Tools. This is kind of an unofficial launch of our new tools. Now, some people may have used our old ones in the past, which were standard templates that you would pre-populate with information yourself. Some people may have actually noticed that we have launched them softly a couple of weeks ago and have been using them for the last couple of weeks. We've made a few additional tweaks in the last 24 hours as well that we've pushed live. And today I'm really going to go through all the tools that are available, the various features, and ultimately how to use it. We will have obviously some official, EDMs, emails going out and announcements in the next couple of weeks. But I think it's important to also state that this is a constantly evolving product within CreditorWatch, and we will be making additional changes and improvements to it over time. There's definitely plenty more for us to do to this particular feature within CreditorWatch. So just again, thanks for joining us. My name's Patrick Coughlin, and I'm the Commercial Director at CreditorWatch. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. So before we get started, as always, just a couple of points to go through. In terms of questions and answers, we want you asking as many as possible. We've got a number of our internal superstars on the line that are waiting for your questions to be asked. They will respond to you where possible. If we don't get back to you, we will get through to you after the webinar, be it a phone call or an email. If your question's a little bit more complex and needs a phone call, we'll obviously let you know and we'll give you a buzz. But yeah, please don't be shy. Ask questions along the way and we'll answer those questions as quickly as possible. On top of that, the slides will be presented to you within probably 24 hours, if not almost straight after the webinar. We're recording this webinar as well, so we'll send you a link to the YouTube video of this recording. So if you have to duck off early, or if you want to pass it on to friends and colleagues, definitely encourage you to do so. Let's jump into a quick poll to get started. So have you used the new CreditorWatch collection tools? Let me get this launched. So yes, I have. No, but I've used the old basic templates, or no, I've never used the old or the new. So have you used the new collection tools? Now the new collection tools has a brand new layout. It allows you to generate a number of different letters, including welcome letters, payment letters, 30, 60 days overdue, final demand, etc. And it actually pre-populates a lot of information into the letter and generates the PDF for you to send off. So please let us know if you've ever used it before. Give it another couple of seconds. Most of you have voted. All right, thank you for that. So only 3%, which is great, to be honest. That's what we were hoping for. We want this to be a new experience for everyone. We want people to understand exactly how to use it the right way. So 3% yes, 23% have used the old templates, 74 have never used the old or the new. So hopefully we can get a few new converts after this, or during this webinar even. So our agenda for today, I'll touch on CreditorWatch really briefly. Most of you will understand and know who we are. We'll have a look, obviously, at what the debt collection tools is about. What are you getting for it? What are we striving to achieve? And the live demo is obviously going to take up the majority of this webinar today. And we'll touch on the benefits. I think the benefits are fairly obvious before, during, and after I've done the demo. But it's always good to reiterate them, or if you're not a CreditorWatch user, hopefully you can take that on board and this can convert you over to a trial to at least get to play with the tools, as well as everything else that CreditorWatch provides. So a little bit about CreditorWatch. We're Australia's leading commercial credit reporting bureau and definitely the fastest growing. We've got over 50,000 customers across Australia using us. We've got offices in 3 of the major cities as well, so we can support those customers. And we're providing a number of tools, including obviously credit reports, monitoring and alerts on your customers or your suppliers, depending on what industry or role you're in. And obviously the final one there is debt collection tools. So that forms part of the core CreditorWatch monthly subscription or annual subscription account that you can sign up to with us. Apply Easy is our end-to-end online credit application and credit management solution. So essentially what that does is we replace your old paper-based credit application form, create and host a brand new online credit application for your customers and applicants to go to. They're filling out the same questions that you would ask in the paper-based form, and we're actually verifying a lot of the information, including company director information, as they're filling it out, giving you the ability to approve, reject applications as soon as possible. It speeds up the sales process, so you can start getting obviously goods and services out there, get money in quicker, and also improves your credit management process. It does away with illegible handwriting, for example, ensures that you're trading with the right entities, and does the automated credit reports as part of that. We also offer a number of data washing and customer data updates that are available, which is always good to do, especially on an annual basis, to ensure that the customers you're dealing with now are as good as they were or said they were when they first came on board, be it 6 months or 6-10 years ago. From a small business point of view, I know we've got a lot of small and medium business users signed up to the webinar today. We really do act as a virtual accounts receivable manager for small businesses. So don't be afraid when you see big name brands using CreditorWatch. We've got plenty of small businesses, sole traders, etc., taking advantage of the various features that CreditorWatch offers, and that's really particularly filling the void for people or businesses who don't have a dedicated AR function or credit management function within their business. We do have Xero and MYOB integration. And as I've kind of made clear there, it's definitely a product for all businesses, regardless of how big you are. So another quick poll for you. Do you currently use a product that assists in the automation of your debt collection process? Now, there are other products out there. I'm always interested just to get a feel for what our customers and prospects are using out there. Technology's definitely come a long way in the last couple of years, particularly in that credit management space and debt collection space. So I'm always interested to hear, what are people using, if they are using anything at all. And that obviously drives a lot of innovation within CreditorWatch. We do see ourselves as a technology company first and foremost. So if we can create products, solutions, features, that people need to use, want to use, then by all means, that's definitely something that our developers and product team are really eager to get stuck into. So I'll just close this off in a couple of seconds again. So this is good to know. 11% yes, 89% no. It's probably a bigger sway to that no side than I expected. But again, what we're about to demonstrate today is definitely something that any business out there that is offering terms or trade accounts, any business out there that does offer that can be utilizing these tools that we're going to go through. So a little bit about our debt collection tools. Now, we've obviously got a variety of attendees today, from customers and non-customers. And then within those customers, we've obviously got small businesses all the way up to corporates, publicly listed entities, people with dedicated credit management teams with dozens of employees. So I like to try to present a webinar that covers everyone. No one feels left out, but there are times, where certain elements might be a little bit basic for some or not relevant to others. So please do stick with me. So CreditorWatch has always offered a suite of debt collection tools for various stages of the debt collection process. So as part of that subscription fee, we've always offered things like the CreditorWatch membership logo to put on your invoices and statements, and then basic reminder letters and templates. I think we had 2 or 3 of them. They were Word docs that you were able to download. You enter in all the relevant information and send it off to your client. This new tools offering, however, is a little bit more integrated, and we're actually assisting in automatically populating a lot more reminder and demand letters, which we're going to get to very, very soon. So we've expanded the offering to, I think it's 8 or 10 different letters, and we're making it much easier for you to put the important information in, and also to reuse information that you've entered once for a customer. Makes it very easy to send something out again. The last tool, of course, the very strong one, what we're all working towards with these letters and templates that we send out, is the ability to register defaults against non-paying businesses. So if you do have customers out there that owe you money, be it it's 60 days overdue or even 12 months overdue, I do strongly recommend that you register a default. It's an incredibly powerful tool that more often than not will get that particular debtor making contact with you. At the very least, in the future, they'll get knocked back for credit by someone else, and they'll come back to you tail between the legs to hopefully settle that bill. For those of you who haven't yet gone to that new debt collection tools page, there is an onboarding process when you get to it. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate it today. It only takes about 5 minutes, but it's a little bit redundant me running through it today. But I just wanted to give you a heads up as to what to expect and how to prepare for it. So it's really designed to ensure that all the details about your company, the main contact person, logos, signature, etc., are collected, and then we can then put them onto the generated letters and templates when you're creating one. So you'll be asked for standard information, like obviously your addresses, ABN, ACN, business name, but a few other things to grab before you jump in there is your company logo, an image of your signature, and obviously payment details that you accept, which is really important. We actually populate that on the bottom of the letters, which we'll see very soon. BPay details, EFT, credit card, any links to potentially online payment portals that you might manage as well. So yeah, please keep that in mind when you do jump in there. I'm not going to demonstrate it now, but I don't want you to be, sort of thinking about, oh, what's this? Patrick never showed me this. So I'll shut up now about the details. Let's get into the actual demonstration of the product. So within your CreditorWatch account, you're going to jump up to very easily marked debt collection tools. So for those of you who've never been here before, whether you're looking at the old ones or the new ones, welcome. For those of you who had used the old basic templates, they still live in this basic templates tab right here. So you can still access those if that's what you want. There's a few other things in there, including a best practices guide, which is just some tips around debt collection process. This is where you can download the membership logo to add to your invoices, statements, final notices, email signatures, website, anywhere you want really, and a couple of the other templates, as well as how to register a default. So you can still access those basic templates. From the home screen, this is really where you can access everything that you need in this new debt collection tools section. So what I'm going to do is run through. I'm not going to generate a letter for each of these 8 letters that we see. I've got a few already pre-generated. I'm going to take you through the tabs, etc. So jumping into the customer list. Now, the customer list, different to your watch list, these are customers that you have added into the debt collection tools. So I've got 5 here that I've previously added into the debt collection tools section, and it's really easy to add additional ones. So I'm just going to start typing in the name. Let's go with Coles, for instance. It's going to start pre-populating a lot of information for you, right? ABN, ACN, which is great. Recipient name, let's say Johnny Smith. Phone number. I won't bother with an email address for now. You can see it's pre-populated the address based on their ASIC information. You can override this if necessary. However, this is going to be the registered business address. Next step, when I set up my debt collection tools, I indicated that I have BPay, so I can give the customer, in this case Coles, I can give them the reference number they need to put in and also the bill pay reference number. Their account number, pretty straightforward. A credit limit, so in this case they're a big customer, so let's give them a big credit limit, and they've got 30-day terms. Do I want to add this customer to my watch list? Not at the moment. Save the customer, and as you can see, that gets added to my customer list within your debt collection section, okay? Good thing about this, you can see their account number, terms, credit limit, and we're even pulling through their credit score as well. Now within this customer list section, every drop down gives me the ability to send any one of these letters, okay? And the good thing about doing it from here is it's pulling all of that information that I've already put in about Coles or Bondi Walk-In Cafe and pre-populating that letter. So it makes it really fast to send something. Okay, so let's have a look at payment methods. So I'll go back a few steps. You can see we've already got Coles being there, and then it's pre-populating all of my information. So the logo that I previously uploaded and my signature. Hit save and complete, and that's going to generate the payment methods letter. Okay. As you can see, I'm giving them a number of options to pay: bank transfer, BPay, check, credit card by mail or phone. It's got all my contact details. It's got the CreditorWatch membership logo. It's got my logo on it, and we're putting in the customer's contact details and address. That's indented, so it actually fits into a nice DL envelope that have the window panes in them, so you can fold that up, send it straight off. Okay, so these are all the current customers that I have in my particular list. The next tab along are previous letters that I've sent. So this is a really good way of keeping in mind what you have sent in the past. So obviously Coles, I've sent the payment methods letter. Hotel Riverina, I've sent a letter of demand. Within that letter of demand, there were 2 invoices that were overdue. And I can actually download that to have a look at exactly what that looks like. Okay. Again, all of the relevant contact information. In this case, the text has changed because it's a letter of demand. It's telling them there's 2 invoices well overdue. And if it's not paid by close of business on the 22nd of September, we will register a default against them on CreditorWatch. All right. And then at the bottom again, got all of the details around how to pay, the various methods. From this drop down as well, if we wanted to send additional ones, any of the other letters are all available. If I wanted to register a default, I can. If I wanted to look at the credit report of this particular company, I can also do that. Okay, so there's plenty of options that we make it easy to actually send additional letters to people that you've already sent to in the past, or you can obviously create that new customer as we did before by clicking Add New Customer. Back to the home. Another way to do it is, let's have a look at the 60 days overdue. So we're just going to click 60 days overdue. I want to send this letter off to a specific customer. Click Next, and it gives me the option to send it either to an existing one, or I can add a new customer as well at this stage. All right, so another customer that I'm going to set up, in this case, Woolworths. Again, everything's pre-populated for you. nice and quick. I'm not going to give BPay options for these guys. They do have an account number though. Slightly smaller credit limit than Coles, and their terms are 14 days. So here we get to add the overdue invoice details. So what I'm putting in here is the invoice number, a description. So I'm just going to put goods. Issue date was back on the 1st of June. It had 14-day term, so it was due on the 14th, and the invoice amount was $5,500. If they've got multiple invoices, you can actually add another one in here. So we give you the ability to add multiple invoices. All of this information coming through, obviously, onto the letter that we're about to generate at the end of this. Adds up the total for us. The next one has a previous reminder notice been issued for the overdue account. If you select yes, it's going to tell you, it gives you the option to say when that previous reminder was sent. So I'm going to say we sent one back on the last week. Has part payment been received? In this case, no. What date do you require full overdue payment? So this is basically the final due date that you're accepting. You know, you could say probably usually you would do end of the week, or close of business tomorrow if you were going to email this letter off. Okay, so this isn't necessarily the due date that has been overrun already. This is the final one to say, hey, if this isn't paid by the 22nd, we are going to register a default. So save and complete. Processes all that information and generates a nice PDF for us. So you can see Johnny Smith at Coles, 60 days overdue notice. It's got the 2 invoices that are overdue. The total amount, we've also said that on the 15th of September, they were issued with a previous overdue account notice. We're reiterating that it needs to be paid by the close of business on the 22nd. Otherwise, legal action may be enforced. Print that off, and you can obviously email it, post it, etc., fax it, depending on how you obviously send your letters of demand. So this is, as I said, this is an ongoing and constantly evolving product. And one of the things that we love about our customers is the suggestions that we get from them. So please, if you are using this, click on this make a suggestion box to say, hey, this is really good, this is really bad, this is what you need to improve. It would be great if you offered, blah, blah, blah. We want to hear from you. CreditorWatch continually improves as a result of that feedback that we do get from our customers. So please don't be shy. As I said, with the onboarding process, we will ask for a number of details. You can update those details. So if you make a mistake or something changes in the future, you come into the settings section. So I've got all my business name, ABN, ACN, the main contact from an AR point of view. So I've put Patrick Coughlin as the AR manager and that email address. All of this information that we're putting in here is coming through to those PDFs that are generating. In terms of payment details, we do offer a number of options. So BPay, CC, online portal, etc. You can make changes to those. You can indicate which cards we accept by ticking, unticking, etc. Our address, it appears on there, bank transfer details, check details, and BPay biller code. Okay, and then you can update your logo. It's as simple as clicking on there or dragging into that section or choosing a file. And of course, the signature. Now I've just used a nice one from Word, but you can obviously put in your standard signature as well. The other thing I wanted to show is if you don't need to send anything at this stage, that's fine, and you just want to have a little bit of a sticky beak, jump in anyway, and you can view the letters. It's going to generate an example to show you exactly what each of the notices or letters looks like. That way you can decide exactly which letter you might want to send on to the relevant customer. One more thing before I jump back into the presentation and we start to wrap up the webinar itself. When you're looking at a credit report, so I'm looking at the credit report of Zanzibar Bar and Grill, I can actually access the debt collection tools from within here as well, okay? So you could, you don't necessarily need to come into that debt collection tool space. You can go straight to that particular credit report of the company that you want to send a letter to, and you can choose any one of these letters that we make on offer. We're going to pull a number of that, a lot of data from the credit report itself, such as address, ABN, ACN business name, and pre-populate a lot of that information that you would otherwise have to do the first time you set up a customer. So another really fast, clever bit of user experience that our developers and product team have put together. So hopefully there's plenty of questions being asked. Now I'm just going to jump back into the PowerPoint presentation. So some obvious benefits that I'm just going to tick off really quickly. By improving your debt collection processes, your credit management processes, you're improving your cash flow and obviously your profitability. You're reducing the time it takes to collect outstanding debts, and using these tools, there's going to be a lot more efficiency. So it's not just money you're saving, it's time that you're saving. Instead of having yourself or your team doing a lot of manual processes, or spending a lot of time on the phone trying to call people, sending out these letters with the CreditorWatch logo attached. The wording we use is really powerful to get people to either make contact with you or settle their outstanding debts. I would definitely suggest you use these tools to collect older debts that you may have written off in the past, particularly suggest that you register defaults against those as well. You've written them off, you've forgotten about them, so be it. You may as well put a black mark on the credit report of that debtor who hasn't paid their bill, and there is a good chance that in the future they get knocked back and someone ends up saying, hey, unless you settle that bill with that previous supplier, we won't be doing business with you. As I hopefully have demonstrated, it's an easy to use platform and a really, really nice customer experience. We're always trying to improve it, so please do communicate with us if you want to see more. One last poll before we wrap up. Are you likely to use these new tools? Now, we obviously use all this information internally just so we can see, have we done a good job in terms of, the layout of this new product and new features? Has the presenter, myself, demonstrated it well? Hopefully I have. And hopefully, I'm going to entice you to jump in and have a little look yourself if you are a customer. If you're not a customer, hopefully, we can get you up and running on a free trial so you can have a play with not just the debt collection tools, but also the credit reports and the monitoring and alerts on your customers. Okay, the majority of you have voted. Thank you for that. So share the results. Yes, 54%, no, 6%, unsure, 40%. So I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to put that 40% unsure into the yes, which is great. Gives us 94% of people are either going to give it a go or have a little look in the near future, hopefully. So thank you for that. I've just included a little bit of client feedback within the slides. I'm not going to go through it today. You'll receive this obviously in the next 24 hours, and there is a link to jump in and have a look at more client testimonials. If you did want to provide some testimonials yourself, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us or your account manager. We're always looking for case studies, testimonials, etc. for us to put up on the website. Obviously, the more people we have using CreditorWatch, registering information, defaults, etc., the more all of our current customers will get out of it. So we're really big on referrals and encouraging current users to help us get more people using CreditorWatch. So that really brings us to the end of the presentation today. So I wanted to say thank you very much for attending. just a few things to run through. If you're not a customer and you'd like to trial CreditorWatch, click on that link when it comes through in the email, and just fill in the form and we'll get in contact to set up a free trial for you. We do have upcoming webinars. So our next one, I believe, is next month, and we'll be going through our small business risk review, which is a quarterly risk review that looks at various market insights, ASIC data, court judgments, payment defaults, how people are paying their bills, etc. It's always good to get a feel for what's happening in the market and the economy at whole. And of course, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us there, admin@creditorwatch.com.au or 0281882025. I'm going to leave this up for another 30 seconds in case you need to have a look at anything, probably 15 seconds. But what I'd really love is for you to stay tuned and provide some feedback. We do have a little survey that will pop up. I think there's 4 questions just asking about how the presentation was received, in terms of the content, and what you might want to see in the future from us. So I really do appreciate it if you do hang around to answer those questions for me. As for my role, I'm done for the day. So thank you very much for attending again. Hopefully you've managed to get something out of it, and hopefully we see you again in the not too distant future.